Hello everyone and welcome to another Infinite Warfare video tips. I'm Asian Rajiv and it's the ERAD's epic variant Cyclopean that we will be covering today. An exotic piece of weaponry, the Cyclopean is a prototype of the ERAD SMG made by Moshimo, a Japanese weapon company known for producing affordable energy weapons. The Cyclopean was also developed by a company that produced a high-class weapon that used the latest technology, the EDI, or Earthbound Development International. The result from both companies was a small SMG that it is capable of firing a constant beam of energy. Though it does consume a battery very quickly and deemed not favorable for a general combat, as a soldier will require to reload really often, and it is only effective at close range. This prototype would go on to serve as a basis for the Steel Dragon, a heavy but more effective laser beam energy weapon. In game, the Cyclopean fires a constant beam of energy with the particle beam gun perk. This means that the fire rate is really fast and constant. Damage is unusual, with the per shot damage being really low. With the difficulty of providing an information of how many shots you need to kill with a constant fire rate, it is best to describe its damage by the time it takes to down your opponent while holding the trigger. The closer you are to the enemy, the more damage you will deal, and it is really quick up close. At long range, you may need the entire magazine to down just one distant opponent, though it is the moderate to high recoil at this range that proves to be more of a concern. The magazine size is increased from 30 to 45 rounds, though under a sustained fire, you will empty the magazine just as fast as any other ERAD variant. The hip fire reticle is changed to a circular one that indicates where your shots will land within the circle, and not the sides of the beam. Aiming will provide a means of tackling your foes more accurately, and it is recommended to do so at longer ranges. This laser beam also seems to contain an ability to track enemies within a small area, though you will still need to manually aim and guide your shots, so it is best to not fully rely on this feature if it exists. The second gun perk is Focus, which reduces the idle sway of the weapon, useful at longer ranges when aiming. The Cyclopean is entirely a new weapon that can compete in certain situations, so the class they will be focusing is a mixed bag one. Attachments are limited with the Cyclopean, as the suppressor, Faraday's lock, and laser sight are missing. The Cyclopean is still the weapon that doesn't demand any attachments to begin with, and the bear gun can be just as effective as is, though the optical attachment can assist in aiming at longer ranges. When aiming while firing, the laser beam will obscure much of your view, and there is the only one attachment that will clear this out. The thermal sight isn't always a good pair with any SMGs, but with the Cyclopean, it is strangely a good fit. Not only that your laser beam will blend in with the environment when scoped in, but the thermal will highlight anyone without the cold-blooded perk in bright orange. The thermal will greatly assist in finding targets at longer distance, and you can use this to temporarily fill in a support role from a solid cover. The only type of enemy you should be avoiding is the one that concealed behind a cover with only a head exposed, as you will struggle to adjust your aim with the recoil. Taking out exposed enemies will allow you to comfortably place your shots onto them without missing too many times. When playing aggressively, you could choose not to aim with it and instead just fire from the hip. You want to pack a pistol for the secondary, as you'll need to reload often with the Cyclopean. For a tactical grenade, the smoke grenade will temporarily obscure a smaller area for a short time, and this works well in conjunction with the thermal sight, as your enemies will be seen in bright orange even when cloaked. Toss one at the choke point ahead of you and wait for them to get through and slay them with your Cyclopean. For the perks, Dexterity is essential to make the reload faster, as the Cyclopean consumes the ammo very quickly. Blast Shield will give you protection against explosives. For the second tier, Tac Resist will complete a defensive ability with a protection against tactical grenades. And Scoundrel will help you to resupply your ammo from fallen enemies by picking up a blue pack. For the rig, the Merc's payload is optional, although the Steel Dragon might seem to be the best fit. With a recent patch to its effectiveness, it is more difficult to use. Even the Cyclopean may be able to kill even faster, so either Bull Charge or Reactive Armor will prove more useful. For the trait, the Man-at-Arms will grant a maximum starting ammunition supply, and with Scavenger perk, this will ensure that you will never run dry at all. The tip with the weapon is to have your playstyle being mixed together, as the Cyclopean is capable of taking out unprepared enemies outside close range from a good location. This multitasker job demands an aggressive playstyle where you need to get close, and its high damage is your advantage. At medium range, you have an insanely fast fire rate that is impressive for a suppressive fire. I would recommend getting close with the Cyclopean for the most of the time, as it is classified as the SMG, and the suppressive fire capability at medium range is best reserved for a situation that demands, such as when you are at a bottleneck of the map and can't safely progress any further. When this happens, toss a smoke grenade and wait for your opponent to come in instead. Your aim needs to be accurate too. While it may seem like there is the auto tracking for the Cyclopean, missing too many shots will leave your enemy time enough to return fire and finish you off. At close range, firing from the hip is ideal, and you should be aiming at long range for more accurate shot placement. If you find yourself missing too much, it is best to tone down your speed should you have a high sensitivity setting for your controller, or aim with it instead. One thing to be careful with the Cyclopean is your position. While holding the trigger, you will constantly appear on the enemy's minimap, almost in real time. At close range, this isn't an issue as the time to kill is rather quick. But from a defensive standpoint, you don't want to stay at one place for too long, and instead move to another location after 2 or 3 kills. Having a counter UAV can temporarily obscure the enemy's minimap for a short time, and you have a looser tolerance to where you fire the weapon from, or how long you will be firing. Overall, the Cyclopean is a mighty little SMG that it is packed in a constant firepower of the laser beam. This makes the weapon's time to kill rather quick at close range, and can suck out anyone's soul at mid-range with a suppressive fire. It is a weapon that can be adapted to many situations. And that's a wrap for the Cyclopean video. This is Asian with Jeep. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.